I'm going to have to apologize in advance for this review. You see, I've watched about 200, I said 200, independent film submissions for my film festival, Tallgrass International Film Festival. And for that, I'm having a tough time recalling a lot of shit. So, last time I was out here, I actually forgot to review the movie Draft Day, which I had seen as my parents had checked it out on Cox On Demand. And I thought, okay, well, I'll talk about that because it's a 2014 movie, and so it's fairly recent, whatever. That was earlier in the year. Okay, so it's directed by Ivan Reitman. He didn't really get around to a lot of movies, mostly for Ghostbusters, Twins. He did No Strings Attached, which I actually liked, though I guess no one else did. And anyhow, this is his next movie since then. It's Draft Day, starring Kevin Costner as the Cleveland Browns GM. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't sound too exciting. But it all takes course over the draft day, the day of the NFL draft. The Seahawks have the first pick. I'm guessing they chose the Seahawks because they didn't want to offend anybody. And so it's like, maybe they could have changed that on the fly. Like, well, let's just change it to whoever won the Super Bowl because we know they're going to have the last pick, but at least that way they're not pissed off and hey, it gives them kind of a spot in the movie. And just about every franchise ends up in this movie in some manner. So Kevin Costner deals with them to get the first pick. He's under pressure to take this quarterback. As the course of the day unfolds, he learns that the guy has like no friends because he's maybe a terrible person or he's white Jameson Winston. And he ends up taking, I'm giving away spoilers. You know how this works. Come on, a few of you know my old format that didn't make me any money. Yeah, you know. So he ends up taking this guy, defensive player, who was able to sack him early. I think he took him as number one overall. He was able to trade back to Seattle all the draft picks he gave up, plus like a kick returner, so that they could save that GM's job and get the quarterback he was supposed to take, because he's slipping down the draft board all of a sudden, which does happen. Aaron Rodgers slipped. When a guy doesn't go where you think they're going to go, throw his game plan off, and sometimes these guys slip. Meanwhile, he's got Jennifer Garner, who is his girlfriend, soon to be baby mama wife, doing that. She's the secretary, because hey, I'm going to post that video later, but like I said, guys with power just want to hire hot secretaries. You don't hire a rich one, that's like technically impossible. So anyhow, he picks up a star running back whose dad was a Cleveland Brown. The dad's played by Terry Crews. He was in the NFL, but I think most of his highlights are getting concussions. I think he does a much better job in comedy anyways. So anyhow, the movie is just kind of okay. I give it 2.5 out of 4 stars. Part of the reason why is, though it's called Draft Day, it just should have been called like GM or General Manager or something like that, because Kevin Costner is such the focus that I don't feel like the focus is on the draft day. It also kisses a lot of ass to the NFL. Roger Goodell walks out there to make the selection, all that, and as the commissioner, he is usually booed. So they edit in cheers, which is suspending disbelief for sure. And I think that it could have gone down better if we seen some other people's perspectives. We didn't really align with the troubled quarterback. Maybe there's a little bit more to him than we were presented. Some surprises here and there would have been nice. I like the way it played out at the end with the succession of trades. I mean, that was interesting enough. The way conversations are carried over the phone. A lot of phone calls in this movie, so I guess Ivan Reitman had the editor do some fancy shit and had characters actually walk out of the frame. So it'd go split screen and they would walk across the room and actually across the other guy's frame. I haven't seen that done to this extent in a narrative film a narrative feature. I think that's kind of cool. So at least it has that kind of pizzazz, but the rest of the movie, like, the color correction is just bizarre. The lighting is purely evenly lit. It's a little aggravating in that regard. It doesn't look very attractive, and it's kind of a poor man's Moneyball. Meanwhile, how many more sports films can Kevin Costner do?